till now 28 students are present in this class. So let me begin the topic quartile deviation, that is inside the heading statistics. Okay, this statistics is actually the different branch of mathematics. It's actually the branch of science. Okay, this is very interesting, and every field of study needs this topic, statistics. Ultimately, the aim of each subject is research. Okay, and even if you read Nepali, even if you read education, even if you read mathematics, science, psychology, okay, research and development, any subject, if you go through any subject, even if you go through MBBS, BDS, or anything, if you, ultimately you target to go through the research, or if you really want to be a scientist in something, if you really want to be an expert in anything, then statistics is needed there. सबै चिजमा चाहिन्छ। यो नेपाली पढ अथवा जेसुकै पढ, तिमी अल्टिमेटली कुनै चिजमा यदि रिसर्च गर्न चाहन्छौ भने चाहिँ त्यहाँ के चाहिन्छ, स्ट्याटिस्टिक्स चाहिन्छ। जस्तो अहिले यो कोरोनाको वर्ल्डमा चाहिँ वर्ल्डमा जुन खालको एउटा पेन्डेमिक आइरहेको छ, यो अब कसरी अगाडि बढ्छ होइन, यो कति सङ्क्रमितहरू कसरी बढ्दै जान्छ, कति दिन पछाडि कति सङ्क्रमितहरू, जुन यो प्रोकास्टिनेसनहरू गरिरहेछ नि अहिले होइन, हो यो सबै कुरा के को थ्रु गर्छ, यो स्ट्याटिस्टिक्सको डिफ्रेन्ट मेजर्सहरू युज गर्ने हो। Though we are not on that level to discuss with that expertise, but we will read some ABC of statistics here. That will be really very important in your future efforts, in your future endeavors. So let's continue. What actually statistics is? Okay, don't write the things, just try to understand. Later I'll ask you to write so that you can make the notes. Just try to understand what actually we are going through, what actually we are going to discuss here. This statistics is the collection, interpretation, presentation, analysis, and organization of the data. Hey, different types of data हुन्छ, I'll discuss later. त्यो डेटाहरूलाई चाहिँ हामीले के गर्ने, कलेक्सन गर्ने, त्यसलाई इन्टरप्रिटेसन गर्ने हैन। जस्तो अब तिम्रो स्कुलको देयर आर लट अफ डेटा, यो वर्ल्ड नै डेटाले गाइडेड छ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई त आज हैन। जस्तो अब स्कुलमा इन एभ्री फिल्ड, नट ओन्ली इन स्कुल, इभन इन एभ्री फिल्ड, हेल्थ सेक्टर, ओके, टुरिज्म सेक्टर, एजुकेसन सेक्टर, if you go through any sector, then there is a data. Okay, it's only the matter of fact which data you are going to interpret, which data you are going to analyze. जस्तै स्कुलमा तिमीले डिफ्रेन्ट टर्मिनल एक्जामिनेसनमा जति मार्क्सहरू आइरहेको छ तिम्रो, त्यो पनि एउटा डेटा भयो। तिम्रो एजको कुरा छ, त्यो पनि एउटा डेटा हो। तिम्रो हाइटको कुरा छ, द्याट इज अल्सो वान डेटा हैन। सो त्यो सबै डेटाहरूलाई चाहिँ कलेक्ट गर्ने, त्यसलाई इन्टरप्रेट गर्ने, प्रेजेन्टेसन गर्ने, एनालाइसिस गर्ने र अर्गनाइजेसन गर्ने चाहिँ काम केले गर्छ, यो स्ट्याटिस्टिक्स भन्ने ब्रान्चले गर्छ। Okay, you don't need to draw this figure, just try to understand. So if you go through the formal definition, what statistics is the science. Actually we are reading in the branch of mathematics, but actually it is a science. Statistics is the science or the discipline that deals with the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation and presentation of the data. स्ट्याटिस्टिक्सको काम के रहेछ, यो डेटाहरूलाई कलेक्ट गर्ने, अर्गनाइज गर्ने, एनालाइसिस गर्ने, त्यसलाई इन्टरप्रेट गर्ने अनि लास्टमा त्यसलाई चाहिँ प्रेजेन्ट गर्ने। दिस इज द टास्क अफ स्ट्याटिस्टिक्स है। स्ट्याटिस्टिक्स भन्छ अब यो डेटाकै खेल हो, यो डेटाकै खेल हो है। अब यो जस्तो तिमीले पाई चार्ट बनायो क्लास 9 मा, आई थिंक यू हैव रेड पाई चार्ट, यू हैव रेड हिस्टोग्राम, यू हैव रेड लाइन ग्राफ, जति पनि गरायो नि, दे आर अल्सो द प्रेजेन्टेसन अफ द डेटा। त्यो प्रेजेन्टेसन हो नि हैन, डेटा प्रेजेन्ट गर्ने। अब त्यहाँबाट यसो हेर्दाखेरि के कुरा बुझिन्छ भने चाहिँ कुनै चिज कति धेरै छ, थोरै छ, अनि यु क्यान इन्टरप्रेट इट। कुन चाहिँ सबैभन्दा बढी कुन डेटामा रिपिट भइरहेछ, मोड पढ्यो होला। सो लट अफ थिङ्स आर देयर, सो लेट्स गो अन, यु डोन्ट निड टु राइट अल दिस थिङ्स। सो अब डेटा भनेको के हो, वाट इज एक्चुअली डेटा? डेटा इज अ, अघि मैले त डेटाको भनेको थिएँ नि, अघि त्यो डेटाको कलेक्सन, इन्टरप्रिटेसन सबै त्यो डेटाको भनिरहेको थियो। सो वाट एक्चुअली डेटा इज? डेटा इज अ कलेक्सन अफ फ्याक्ट्स, collection of facts such as numbers, words, measurements, observation or just description of things, right? सपोज तिमी कुनै एउटा तिमी बाटोमा बसिराख हैन, अनि त्यसपछि बाटोमा कतिवटा गाडी पास भइरहेछ, आज दिनभरिमा कतिवटा गाडी पास भयो त, बाइक कतिवटा पास भयो, कार कतिवटा पास भयो, बस कतिवटा पास भयो हैन, द्याट इज अ नम्बर त हो, त्यो पनि एउटा डेटा हो। इट्स कलेक्सन अफ फ्याक्ट के, फ्याक्टहरूको कलेक्सन। त्यो नम्बरमा पनि हुनसक्छ, त्यो वर्ड्समा पनि हुनसक्छ हैन। जस्तो क्वालिटेटिभ र क्वान्टिटेटिभ डेटाको कुरा हुन्छ, जस्तो वर्ड्समा, जस्तो कुनै एउटा चिज छ सपोज हैन, व्हाट इज द कलर अफ the cloth, what is the color of the cloth that is wear by the students of the school, अथवा that is wore by the people walking on the road। पछि त्यसमा के आउला, जस्तो वर्ड आउँछ नि त्यसमा हैन, रेड आउला, ब्ल्याक आउला, पिङ्क आउला, डिफ्रेन्ट कलरको आउँछ, त्यो वर्डमा भयो। मेजरमेन्ट हैन, जस्तो तिमीले अब मेजर गर्नु पर्यो, सपोज तिम्रो अब क्लासको स्टुडेन्टहरुको हाइटको मेजरमेन्ट लिनु पर्यो, सो डिफ्रेन्ट टाइप्स अफ फ्याक्ट्स। सो द कलेक्सन अफ अल दिस फ्याक्ट्स इज कलेक्टिभली कल्ड अ डेटा। ओके, एक्जाम्पल 1 लेट्स सी। अब यो एउटा डेटा छ, सो देयर आर अ लट अफ डेटा, आई हेभ टेकन वान डेटा। मैले अब यो अहिले आइपिएल को नि टाइम चलेको भएर नेपालकै खेलाडीको पर्फर्मेन्सले यो रियल डेटा नै हो, मैले यो क्रिक इन्फोबाट लिएको डेटा हो यो। जस्तो पारस खड्काले चाहिँ अहिले ओडिआई, यो ओडिआईको नेपालको चाहिँ ओडिआई नेसन हो हैन, वान डे इन्टरनेसनल खेल्छ नेपालले, अहिलेसम्म 10 वटा ओडिआई खेलिसकेको छ नेपालले। एन्ड आउट अफ दिस 10 ओडिआई, पारस खड्का हेज प्लेड 10 इनिङ्स and he was not out in one of the games, and he has scored 315. Total score of Paras Khadka is 315. His highest score is 115. His average score is 35. Okay, he has scored 50 runs in one of the ODI game and 100 in one of the ODI game. भनेपछि ज्ञानेन्द्र मल्लको यस्तै खालको, सन्दीप लामिछानेको यस्तै खालको। सो दिस इज अल्सो अ काइन्ड अफ डेटा। हामी यो नम्बरको फर्ममा लिएको भयो। दिस इज अ कलेक्सन अफ फ्याक्ट, त फ्याक्ट हो नि हैन। उसले 50 वटा रन त हाफ सेन्चुरी त एउटा हान्यो भने त्यो फ्याक्ट हो नि हैन। उसले एउटा सेन्चुरी हान्यो भने यो पनि फ्याक्ट हो। यो फ्याक्टको कलेक्सनलाई वी कल द डेटा। सो बेसिकली डेटा क्यान बी क्लासिफाइड इन्टु टु टाइप्स, वान इज क्वालिटेटिभ डेटा एन्ड द अनदर वान इज क्वान्टिटेटिभ डेटा। यो बुझ्ने मात्र, यो अहिले लेख्ने होइन। जस्ट ट्राई टु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड वाट एक्चुअली अल दिस थिङ्स रिफर टु। Okay, so I have classified broadly the data into two parts, that is, one is qualitative data. Qualitative data भनेको the data that cannot be measured in terms of number, that cannot be measured in terms of figure, something like कसरी भनौँ, जस्तो कि फर एक्जाम्पल how are you भने कसैले हैन, I am fine भने, I am not feeling well भने। अब I am fine भन्ने कुरालाई त त्यसलाई चाहिँ म कति फाइन छु भने त्यसलाई चाहिँ प्यारामिटर कुनै नम्बरमा मेजर गर्न सकिन्छ त हैन, कुनै एउटा क्याल्कुलेटर ल्याएर मेजर गर्न सकिँदैन नि त। ल 50, आई एम फाइन 50 भन्ने हुन्छ त, त्यो त हुँदैन। सो सच डेटा विच क्यानट बी मेजर्ड इन टर्म्स अफ नम्बर इज कल्ड द क्वालिटेटिभ डेटा। तिमीलाई कति रिस उठेको छ भन्दाखेरि मलाई चाहिँ एकदम रिस उठेको छ त भन्यो, मलाई 100 रिस उठेको छ, मलाई 20 रिस उठेको छ भन्ने मिल्छ त, मिल्दैन नि। सच डेटा आर कल्ड द क्वालिटेटिभ डेटा। एन्ड देयर इज क्वान्टिटेटिभ डेटा, or any data that can be quantified or that can be measured in terms of number, I call the quantitative data. This quantitative data can be classified in 3 types. Okay, they can be classified in 3 types. I think you are well aware of the fact that the 3 types are, one is individual data, second one is discrete data, and the third one is continuous data. Okay, it is also called the grouped data. ग्रुप, यो दुईटालाई चाहिँ अनग्रुप्ड भनेर नि भने हुन्छ कतै कतै है। अब यो इन्डिभिजुअल, डिस्क्रिट, कन्टिन्युअस भनेको आई विल एक्सप्लेन अ बिट हियर। म अलिकति डिस्क्राइब गरिदिन्छु यो भनेको के हो भनेर। जस्ट वेट फर फ्यु मिनट्स, लेट मी चेन्ज द पेन कलर हियर, लेट मी डु दिस फर दैट, जस्ट वेट अ मिनट। ओके, सो म एउटा तिमीलाई एउटा प्र्याक्टिकल इक्जाम्पल दिएर बुझाइदिन्छु त्यो इन्डिभिजुअल, डिस्क्रिट र कन्टिन्युअस भनेको कस्तो। सपोज एउटा सानो स्कुल छ हैन, क्लास 10 मा त सपोज त्यहाँ 4-5 जना विद्यार्थी मात्रै छ। Okay, there are few students in class 10 of any school. So I don't need to bother about keeping the record of such students, of the students of that school. So if I note the marks of the students of that school, okay, let me note the marks of optional math of that school. Okay, so suppose optional maths ma 50 marks ma कसैले ल्यायो, suppose 40 ल्यायो हैन, कसैले 38 ल्यायो. Suppose there are 5 students, let me note the marks of the 5 students of that school. So it will be 40, 38, or some students has got 35, and one of them has got 49, and one of them has got 40. हेर यहाँ इन्डिभिजुअल एक जनाको मार्क्स नोट गरे नि हेर त. ओके, एक जनाको सबैको मार्क्स नोट गरे नि पुग्छ कि यसमा. 40 दिलाउने दुई जना थियो, 40 40 दुई जना दुई पटक लेख्यो, 38, 35, 49. We have noted the individual marks of all students. एक जनाको नोट गरे भने, कमाले सेपरेट गरे यसरी नोट गरे भने, such types of data is called individual data. अहिले सिम्पली यसलाई यति बुझौँ. सो देयर इज अ बिगर स्टुडेन्ट देन दिस इज. यसमा 5 जना मात्र विद्यार्थी थियो. अब अलि ठुलो स्कुल आयो जसमा चाहिँ सपोज लेट अस सपोज देयर आर 10 स्टुडेन्ट्स or 15 students. Okay, so I need to note the marks of such students, marks of those students in that school. In second school, this is first school, let's suppose this in the second school. Suppose अब marks, अब marks नोट गर्न चाहिँ 15-20 जनाको लेखिरहन यहाँ चाहिँ अलिकति स्पेस पनि कन्ज्युम धेरै हुने भयो हैन. अर्को कुरा, द रिपिटिसन भइरहेको कुरालाई चाहिँ हामीले अलिकति सजिलो तरिकाले अर्को तरिकाले लेख्न सक्छौं. फ्रिक्वेन्सी इज रिपिटिसन. फ्रिक्वेन्सी भने के हो भने कुनै चीजको रिपिटिसन कति पटक भएको छ भने. सपोज देयर आर almost 10 students and they have got the marks like this: 40, 42, 43, 48, 50. So let's take just an example for this. Okay, अब फ्रिक्वेन्सी 40 ल्याउने सपोज 2 जना छ, 42 ल्याउने 1 जना छ, 43 ल्याउने 3 जना छ. ओके, 48 ल्याउने सपोज लेट सपोज 4 जना छ र 50 ल्याउने 0 जना छ, अथवा भनौं 1 जना छ, किन 0 लेख्दैन हैन, 1 जना ल्यायो ल मानौं. ए फ्रिक्वेन्सी क्यान नेभर बी डेसिमल अर नेगेटिभ. फ्रिक्वेन्सी कहिले पनि नेगेटिभ हुन सक्दैन है. 40 जना 1 जना छ भने -2 जना भन्ने हुन्छ र हुँदैन नि. फ्रिक्वेन्सी इज जस्ट अ रिपिटिसन, इट्स अ नम्बर, इट्स अ काउन्टिङ नम्बर. ओके, सो फ्रिक्वेन्सी क्यान नेभर बी नेगेटिभ. अब यसरी हेर है त, यो सर्टेन नम्बर अफ स्टुडेन्ट्सहरु थियो, डेटा पनि डिस्क्रिटमै छ हैन. हेर त, यो 40 ल्याउने 2 जना, 42 ल्याउने 1 जना, 43 ल्याउने 3 जना, 48 ल्याउने 4 जना, 50 ल्याउने 1 जना, टोटल नम्बर अफ स्टुडेन्ट्स यहाँ 11 जना भयो ल. ठीक छ है. पछि यसरी इफ वी प्रेजेन्ट द डेटा इन दिस टाइप, then it is called discrete data. Okay, so now continuous. अब धेरै जना, सपोज अब ग्रीनल्यान्डकै कुरा गरौँ, अलि 60-70 जना विद्यार्थीहरु छ हैन, तिम्रो कति 70-80 के रेन्जमा छ होला अहिले, अथवा लास्ट इयरतिर त लगभग 100 प्लस के स्टुडेन्टहरु हुन्थ्यो. The students, the number of students that who are taking online classes are, I think, around 70 or 75, something like that. So if I note the marks of the students in a paper, some students might have got 40.5 हैन, कसैले त्यहाँ 40.5 पनि डेसिमल पनि ल्याएको हुन सक्यो हैन. या त डेसिमलको कुरा आएन नि त, डिस्क्रिटमा त या पनि डेसिमलको कुरा त लिएर त्यसलाई रिपिटिसनमा राख्न सकिन्छ, तर सबै कुरालाई इन्क्लुड गर्न त गाह्रो छ. अब यसलाई चाहिँ म अलिकति डिफरेन्ट वेमा इन्टरप्रेट गर्छु है त. I'll collect it in the different form. So I'll take the continuum of the data. Suppose 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, okay, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. अब हेर त यहाँ एउटा इन्टरभलमा भइरहेछ नि, 0 to 10, 10 देखि 20, 20 देखि 30, 30 देखि 40, 40 देखि 50. सपोज 0 देखि 10 सम्म ल्याउने 2 जना छ, 10 देखि 20 सम्म ल्याउने 3 जना छ, 20 देखि 30 सम्म ल्याउने 4 जना छ हैन, 30 देखि 40 सम्म ल्याउने 1 जना छ हैन, 40 to 50 ल्याउने 2 जना छ. So in such case, if you write the data in this interval form, if you write it in this form, then you can include the decimals also. You don't need to leave any numbers. अब यसमा सपोज कसैले 41 ल्यायो भने त अब यहाँ 41 छुट्टी बक्स छैन नि त हैन. You need to write 41 and 1. But if anyone score 41, then it will be included here. सबै कुरालाई इन्क्लुड गरेर यसले चाहिँ डेसिमल्स देखि लिएर सबै पोसिबल डेटाहरुलाई यसले इन्क्लुड गर्ने भयो. So this is one of the most important data type that is used in statistics. In class 10, we will not deal the questions of individual data and discrete data. Okay, we will deal the questions of continuous data. हामीले यसको चाहिँ हामीले बडी क्वेशन्सहरु गर्छौं. But let me make you clear one thing here. I'll explain later also. In this class 0 to 10, in this class interval 0 to 10, this is lower limit and this is upper limit. यसलाई हामीले lower limit भन्छौं, यसलाई upper limit भन्छौं. यहाँ 0 चाहिँ यसमा पर्छ, तर 10 चाहिँ यसमा पर्दैन है. The upper limit is not included here. It is also called exclusive class interval. Exclude भयो कि upper limit चाहिँ पर्दैन. जस्तो 10 to 20 मा यहाँ के पर्छ? 10 चाहिँ पर्छ, 20 चाहिँ पर्दैन. It means number that lies from 10 to below 20. जस्तो 19.9 पनि यसमै पर्यो. So 20 exactly चाहिँ यो पर्दैन. यो border जुन छ नि boundary, upper boundary त्यो चाहिँ पर्दैन यसमा. This is exclusive class है. यो जानि राख्ने. यो नोट गर्नु पर्दैन अहिले. Okay, so let me explain. अब हामीले पढ्ने चाहिँ के हो त यसमा? In class 9 you have read especially in CMath you have read the measures of central tendency. What is central tendency? The measures of central tendency like mean, median and mode that gives the value, the representing value, a set of values in a distribution. के भने यो तिमीले क्लास 9 मा चाहिँ के पढ्यौ भने एउटा सेन्ट्रल टेन्डेन्सी भन्ने पढ्यौ. I think not in CMath, not in OMath. OMath हामीले सेन्ट्रल टेन्डेन्सी भनेर त्यसरी पढ्दैन जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई. त्यहाँ mean को कुरा, median को कुरा, mode को कुरा I think you have read in compulsory mathematics. जहाँ पढ्न त पढ्यो. They are called central tendency. Suppose let me give you one example. म अलिकति practical example तिर बुझाइदिन्छु है. Suppose our principal sir want to analyze the result of our school. हैन? Our principal सरले स्कुलको रिजल्टलाई एनालाइज गर्न खोज्नुभयो. अब त्यो सबै स्टुडेन्टको एक मार्क्स हेरेर सधैँभरि त्यो पोसिबल छैन. Though he really wants to see the marks of every student also, it's not always possible to see the marks of every student of the class. Every subject को every student को मार्क्स हेर्न अलि पोसिबल छैन. अब उहाँलाई चाहिँ एउटा नम्बर चाहियो कि यस्तो नम्बर चाहियो जसले चाहिँ होल क्लासको स्टुडेन्ट्सको मार्क्सको बारेमा भन्न सकोस् के. एउटा एभरेज भ्यालु. ओहो एभरेजमा यति छ. अब 100 ल्या 100 if 100 is the full marks, if average is around 60 to 70, that's satisfactory marks. त्यो भनेको 70 चाहिँ सबैले ल्याएको मार्क्स चाहिँ एकअर्कालाई बाँड्यो भने चाहिँ 70 चाहिँ सबैलाई पुग्दो रहेछ भने जस्तो के. कसैले त्यहाँ 20 पनि ल्यायो होला, कसैले 100 पनि ल्यायो होला, कसैले 60 पनि ल्यायो होला. सबैले बराबर बाँड्यो भने चाहिँ 70 ल्याएर पुग्दो रहेछ भने जस्तो यो सेन्ट्रल टेन्डेन्सी भने. सेन्ट्रल टेन्डेन्सी भनेको जस्तो कि अघि मैले कुरा गरेँ जस्तो 0 to 100 को बीचमा यसको बीचको कतैतिरको डेटा के सेन्ट्रल भ्यालु के डेटाको सेन्टरतिरको भ्यालु हो. मिन, मिडियन, मोड भने चाहिँ डेटाको समवेयर इन बिट्विनको डेटा हो यो. जसले चाहिँ यो होल डाटालाई रिप्रेजेन्ट गर्नु पर्यो. हैन कस्तो कुरा छ हेर त 0 देखि 100 सम्मको जस्तो यहाँ त 100 ल्याउने स्टुडेन्ट पनि छ नि. अब एभरेज भ्यालु 70 भन्दा त यो स्टुडेन्टलाई मार्क परेन 100 ल्याउनलाई 20 ल्याउन त मक्क पर्यो होला. ओहो एभरेज त 70 रहेछ के मेरो 20 आएर के भयो र भन्ने जस्तो लाग्यो होला हैन. दिस क्यानट बी द होल रिप्रेजेन्टिङ डेटा. सेन्ट्रल टेन्डेन्सीले भन्दा चाहिँ यो रिप्रेजेन्टिङ डेटा भनेर भनेको छ. तर यसले त पुरैलाई त रिप्रेजेन्ट त गरेन नि. भनेपछि यसको केही फालेसीहरु रह्यो के यसको केही डिमेरिटहरु रह्यो. I'll give you an example. The measures of central tendency may not always be the best representative data. Don't worry, यो यसको क्वेशन सल्भ गर्ने पार्ट चाहिँ त्यति गाह्रो छैन. म चाहिँ कन्सेप्ट अलिकति बुझाइदिन खोजिरहेको छु मलाई. यो यसको चाहिँ कन्सेप्टली बुझ्यो भने फाइदै हुन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ. Measures of central tendency may not always be representative data, best representative data. जस्तो प्रिन्सिपल सरले तिम्रो मार्क्सको मिन मात्र हेरेर एनालाइज गर्नुभयो भने चाहिँ त्यसले पर्फेक्ट रिप्रेजेन्टेसन दिएन. He may not get the perfect interpretation of the result of your class. Let me give you one example. जस्तो यहाँ हेर है. अब हाम्रै प्लेयरको ल्याउन हैन. पारस, ज्ञानु र सम्पालको. यहाँ चाहिँ मैले कतिवटा गेम लिएछ 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay. I have taken the 9 game of 3 different players. Though this is hypothetical data. Okay. Let me put the score of different players in 9 different games. Paras scored 15 runs in every game he played. Though it is hypothetical, let us see if he scored 15 runs in every game. His total will be 135. Gyanendra is a bit inconsistent. He scored 11 in the first game, 12 in the second game, 13 in the third game. Similarly, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 and 19 in the other games. In this case also the total is 135. Okay. Sompal is a pinch hitter. Sometimes he get out by scoring few runs, and sometimes he score some good amount of run also. Okay. Here also he is showing some inconsistency, but also the total score in the 9 different game is 135. तीनटैले ल्याउनु त छुट्टा-छुट्टै ल्याएको स्कोर त हेर त, तर यसको मिन निकाल्यो भने in case of Paras, if you take the mean, it is 15. Again, if you take the average or the mean of Gyanu, it is also 15. Again, if you take the average score of Sompal, again it is 15. Mean त हेर त तीनटैको एउटै आछ, तर यसरी जस्तो प्रिन्सिपल्सहरुले हैन ओ पारस ज्ञानु र सम्पालको यही मात्र मिन मात्र हेरेर मिडियन पनि दिइरहेको छ. मिडियन इज also same here. Though it is not always the case, sometimes the mean may be greater than median, otherwise it may be smaller than the median also. But in this particular case, both the median and the mean is 15. If someone who interpret this data, suppose अब कोचले नेपालको नेशनल टिम कोचले अब सबैको 15 नै छ हैन, यिनीको परफर्मेन्स अब जसलाई लिदा पनि हुन्छ भन्यो भने त अब यसले त गलत इन्फर्मेसन दियो नि त, गडबड भयो नि त त्यहाँ. पर्फेक्ट रिप्रेजेन्टेसन गरे त गरेन, बिकज अब यहाँ हेर त यसको त स्क्याटरनेस जुन छ नि हेर त, कति बेला 3 आनेछ, कति बेला 27 पनि आनेछ, एभरेजमा पो 15 आने त हैन, कति बेला 18 आनेछ. अब पारस त यस्तो कन्सिस्टेन्ट छ हेर त रनमा 15 15 15 15 15, अर्को पनि 15 आन्ला हैन. दो दिस इज अ हाइपोथेटिकल डेटा. So mean, median, they cannot perfectly represent the data. भनेपछि यो पुरै डेटालाई रिप्रेजेन्ट नगर्दो रहेछ के मिडियनले, मिनले. भनेपछि अब यो स्क्याटरनेसको जुन छ नि हेर त, मिनबाट यो 15 भन्दा कतिले बढी छ, 15 भन्दा कतिले कम छ भन्ने कुराहरु चाहिँ सेन्ट्रल टेन्डेन्सीले दिएन. सेन्ट्रल टेन्डेन्सी भनेको के हामीले पढ्यो त्यसमा, एउटा मिन पढ्यो, एउटा मिडियन पढ्यो, एउटा मोड पढ्यो. भनेपछि दिस इज इनकम्प्लिट टु इन्टरप्रेट द डेटा. The above values of mean and median cannot be representative data for the given data. दिएको डेटाको लागि that it cannot be the representative. This median and the mean, central tendency भने चाहिँ कस्तो भन्दाखेरि mean, median भन्दा अघि भने नि मैले बिचको डेटा के, central value of the data that represents the whole data. Okay, this cannot be the perfect representative or the best representative for the data. Central tendency भन्दाखेरि यो तीनटा सम्झिने, mean, median and mode. Okay. They were supposed to be the representative of the data. अब एउटै एक्जाम्पलले फेल खाइदियो के यसलाई. भनेपछि so the measures of central tendency does not give the idea of scatterness, spread, diversity, variability of the data. अब डेटाको जुन यो भेरिएसन छ नि, यो वर्ड चाहिँ राम्रोसँग याद गर, र स्क्याटरनेस, यो दुईटा चाहिँ अलि बढी इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ. स्क्याटरनेस, डाटा जुन स्क्याटर कसरी भइरहेछ भन्ने कुरा छ नि, इट इज नट एक्सप्लेन्ड बाइ द सेन्ट्रल टेन्डेन्सी. यो फरक डेटा हुँदा पनि एउटै मिन आइरहेछ भने चाहिँ यसले त गलत इन्फर्मेसन दियो नि त. सो we need a different measure. This demerit of central tendency is explained by measures of dispersion. अब यसलाई चाहिँ एक्सप्लेन गर्नको लागि के आयो त भन्दाखेरि यस्तो खालको स्क्याटरनेसको लागि एक्सप्लेन गर्नको लागि के आयो, मेजर्स अफ डिस्पर्सन. I wanted to make some applet in GeoGebra also, but there was no electricity and internet in my room for few days. So I could not make the proper GeoGebra applets there. I'm sorry. If I could make it later, I will show it to you later also. यो गजब छ के स्ट्याटिस्टिक्स भने चाहिँ तिमीले नेपाली पढ्छ भने नि त्यति त्यहाँ पनि चाहिन्छ. सो इट इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट. अहिले केही बुझेन भने पनि यसको कन्सेप्ट एटलिस्ट बुझिराख नि, फर्मुला चाहिँ याद गर्ने. फर्मुला याद गरे भने चाहिँ खायो, मार्क्स खायो यसले है. 10 मार्क्स यु विल इजिली गेट. सो व्हाट डिस्पर्सन एक्चुअली इज, अघि हामीले सेन्ट्रल टेन्डेन्सीमा के पढ्यो, मिन, मिडियन, मोड. नाउ इन डिस्पर्सन, व्हाट इज डिस्पर्सन? Dispersion is the, you can write this, now we can write from here. Dispersion, it is the degree of scatteredness of the individual item from a central value or average value. It provides an idea of homogeneity or heterogeneity of the distribution. In the earlier slide, I showed you the runs of Paras Khadka, that was a bit homogeneous, but in case of Gyanendra and Sompal, it was a bit heterogeneous. Sompal's score was more heterogeneous than that of Gyanendra. Okay, dispersion is the degree of scatteredness of the individual item from the central value. Okay, सेन्ट्रल भ्यालुबाट कतिले चाहिँ के छ डाटा स्क्याटर छ त्यो हेर्ने काम चाहिँ के गर्छ डिस्पर्सनले। सो अब जस्तो सेन्ट्रल टेन्डेन्सी भन्दाखेरि देयर वेयर मीन मिडियन एन्ड मोड। सिमिलरली इन डिस्पर्सन देयर आर द भेरियस मेजर्स अफ डिस्पर्सन आर क्वार्टाइल डेभिएसन or semi interquartile range, quartile deviation or semi interquartile range, mean deviation or average deviation, standard deviation. The last one is standard deviation. We will read these three: quartile deviation, mean deviation, or standard deviation. I think you have read this in class 9 for individual data and discrete data. The individual or discrete data like class 9 mein padhisakyo. Now we will read this for continuous data in class 10. Okay, so quartile deviation, mean deviation, and standard deviation for continuous data. Please write it. Write the things that are included in the slide. Please note. Okay, so please copy it. Dispersion, it is the degree of scatteredness of the individual items from the central value or average value. It provides an idea of homogeneity or heterogeneity of the distribution. Data कसरी स्क्याटर भइरहेछ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ डिस्पर्सनको कुराहरुले दिन्छ, क्वार्टाइल डेभिएसन, मिन डेभिएसन एन्ड स्ट्यान्डर्ड डेभिएसन. So let me continue. If you have written it, please let me know if you have not completed. So for this topic, the max that is allocated in specification grid is 2 times 1 is equals to 2 and 4 times 2 equals to 8. That is the sum is equals to 10. That is 2 max 1 question and 4 max 2 question. Okay, so the total max is 10 for this particular topic. Okay, let me solve one question for you. Let me discuss what quartiles are actually. This quartile deviation is based on today I am going to discuss quartile deviation. To understand quartile deviation, you need to know quartiles, what quartiles actually are. The value which divide the whole data into 4 equal parts are called quartiles. Okay, just okay. For example, if I divide the max of whole class like this, मैले यो क्लासको स्टुडेन्टहरुलाई चाहिँ जस्तो 0 ल्याउने देखि 100 ल्याउने सम्मको स्टुडेन्टहरु मैले यसरी यहाँनिर प्लट गर्दै गएँ के. Suppose there is a one student who got 0 and there is one student who got 100 and there are other students who got max in between 0 and 100. Okay, some may have got 10, 20, 30, 35, 45.5, okay, 46, 47, something like this. And if I have to divide the whole school's class, the whole students of that class into 4 different sections, मैले अब 4 वटा सेक्सनमा डिवाइड गर्नु पर्यो के. भनेपछि I need to divide the section on the basis of merit or on the basis of your exam's performance. तिम्रो एक्जामको पर्फर्मेन्स आधारमा मैले क्लासलाई डिवाइड गर्न गइरहेको छु भने I need 3 different marks. मतलब 3टा मार्क्सको भ्यालु चाहियो के. जस्तो कुनै एउटा लट्ठीलाई 4 टुक्रा पार्नु पर्यो भने 3 ठाउँमा काटेको हुन्छ नि त हैन. So if I have to divide the whole class into 4 different sections, then I need 3 particular values of your marks which divide the whole class into 4 different parts. Let's see. जस्तो यो क्लासलाई चाहिँ 4 वटा सेक्सनमा डिवाइड गर्नका लागि 3टा मार्क्सको भ्यालु चाहियो मलाई. The values that divides the whole observation or the whole data into 4 equal parts are called the quartiles. In case of quartile, they are denoted as Q1, Q2 and Q3. यो मार्क्सले त्यस्तो मार्क्सको भ्यालु जुन भन्दा तल पनि 25%, जुन भन्दा माथि चाहिँ 75%. अहिले म फर्दर एक्सप्लेन गर्छु. अब यो देखि यहाँसम्म बिचमा सपोज 100 जना विद्यार्थी थियो भने यहाँ देखि यहाँसम्म 25 हुनु पर्यो. Here 25, here also 25, here also 25. In case of 100 students, the marks will divide the students in such a way that the number of students below Q1 is 25. Number of students between Q1 and Q2 is also 25. Number of students in between Q2 and Q3 is also 25. Number of students who has scored more than Q3 is also 25. Let me explain it further. Q1 divides this data in such a way that the students below Q1, the student who is scored below Q1 is 25%. That is lower 25% र upper 75% को बीचको डाटा हो यो Q1 चाहिँ. Okay, lower 25% or upper 75%. And for Q2, it divides the data into lower 50% and upper 50%. माथिको तलको 50% र माथिको 50% लाई डिवाइड गर्ने डाटा के रहेछ Q2. Similarly, this Q3 divides the data in such a way that the number of students below Q3 is also 75%. तल चाहिँ 75% माथि चाहिँ 25%. भनेपछि lower 75% and upper 25%. This is Q3. Okay. So you may draw this figure. Just draw it fast. This Q1 is called the lower quartile. Q3 is called the upper quartile. I'll write that later. I think I have included in the other slide. Okay, I just consulted with BG sir that I will continue this whole class today. I'll take the second class also because there was internet problem and I need to complete this topic. Okay, so please don't leave this class even after it is 8 AM. Okay. So Q1, Q2, and Q3. I think you have read the partition values in class 9. त्यहाँ चाहिँ P1, P2, P3, P4, P99 सम्म पढ्यो होला. डेसाइलमा चाहिँ D1, D2, D3, D9 सम्म पढ्यो होला हैन. डेसाइलले 10 भागमा डिवाइड गर्छ डेटालाई, क्वार्टाइलले 4 भागमा. Similarly, percentile divide the data in the 100 parts. These quartiles divide the data in 4 equal parts. 4 equal parts. के जस्तो क्लासको स्कुलको 100 जना विद्यार्थीलाई 4 वटा सेक्सनमा डिवाइड गर्दा 25 जना, अर्को एउटा सेक्सनमा 25 जना, अर्कोमा 25 जना, अर्कोमा 25 जना, अर्कोमा राख्नु पर्ने. के को आधारमा राख्ने त? Okay, only basis is to see the marks. अब Q1 एउटा यस्तो भ्यालु निकाल्छु मैले क्याल्कुलेट गरेर, त्यो मार्क्स भन्दा तलले भने 25 जना हुन्छ के. र Q1 र Q2 को बीचमा मार्क्समा विद्यार्थी 25 जना हुन्छ. This is the scientific basis to divide the section of any class of any school. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Please copy it. Okay, draw this figure. It will be easier for you to understand it. This thing, the same thing will be repeated in your CMath also. CMath मा पनि त्यहाँ 4 मार्क्स वटा क्वेशन छ त्यो मलाई स्ट्याटिस्टिक्स बाट. Okay, so try to understand here. त्यहाँ पनि काम लाग्छ, यहाँ पनि काम लाग्छ. So remember it and understand it. Understand the concept. Okay, so let's go further. Formula to calculate the quartiles for continuous data. This is a bit different formula than that of discrete and individual data. So first quartile or lower quartile, that is simply denoted as Q1, the side number 1. First quartile slash lower quartile, and inside bracket write Q1. Okay, write inside the bracket Q1. At first, here you need to find the position of the Q1. Q1 भनेको थिएँ नि अघि जुन त्यो नम्बर निकाल्ने जस्तै के यसको पहिला पोजिसन निकाल्नु पर्छ. त्यो I'll explain later. Just write the formula right now. Position of Q1 is found by the value n by 4. N is the total number of data, and after you divide it by 4, you will get the position of Q1. And the actual formula to calculate Q1 in case of continuous data is Q1 is equals to L plus n by 4 minus CF times if. As if भन्नु सम्झिने है. यो तिमीलाई चाहिँ किताबहरुमा चाहिँ यसै पनि लेखेको हुन्छ. Don't get confused. मैले यसै सिकाउने गरेको छु यसलाई. It may be you may observe in your textbook like this. Q1 is equals to L plus n/4 minus CF upon F into I यसरी पनि देख्न सक्छ किताबमा है तर यसरी भन्दा चाहिँ यसरी पढ्यो भने चाहिँ इफ भनेर पढ्यो भने अलि सजिलो हुन्छ सम्झिन इफ ओके माथि I तलपट्टि F भित्र CF बाहिर if C dot F I'll explain later what L is, what N, what CF, what I, what F are. I'll explain later. Just copy the formula right now. Q1 is equals to L plus n/4 minus CF times I by F. Remember this formula, okay? We are not going to derive this formula. We'll just use this formula. We'll remember this formula and we'll use it. Q1 is equals to L plus n/4 minus CF times I by F. Similarly for Q2, second quartile, median. Second quartile is also called median. Sometimes the first quartile may be interpreted as lower quartile or the values. Sometimes it may be tricky. The question may be tricky, especially in CMath. Find the value which divide the data lower 25%, okay, and upper 75%. Upper 75% or lower 25% J भने पनि के हो Q1. Lower 25, lower 50, upper 50 भने नि Q2. Lower 75, upper 25 भने पनि चाहिँ Q3. So second quartile for second quartile or median Q2, position of Q2 is equals to n/2. अब यसलाई चाहिँ त्यस्तो गाह्रो छैन यो कसरी आको भने n/2 चाहिँ त्यसो n/4 चाहिँ नि टोटल डेटालाई 4 भागमा डिवाइड गर्ने n/4 अगाडि पनि 2 ले मल्टिप्लाई गरे for Q2 it is multiplied by 2. So 2 times n/4 is n/2. Okay, so it has come in that way. You may remember in that way. For Q2 it is 2 times n/4. That is, if you simplify it further, then it will be n/2. You may write at one side this also. एउटा साइडमा लेख्यो भने चाहिँ अलि सजिलो भएपछि सम्झिन पनि. The number third, the formula for Q2 is L plus, right inside the bracket, n/2 minus CF, though you may write 2 times n/4 also. 2 times n/4 also you may write. n/2 minus CF times if, यहाँ पनि if. Okay, I'll explain later what this if is. यो सबै टर्म थाहा हुनुपर्छ एक्जाममा 1 मार्क्स सोध्छ CMathमा. L भनेको के हो? What is L? What is N? What is CF? What is I? And what is F? In this formula, okay, that will be asked particularly in CMath. But you need to know exactly what is this, what does this represent in optional methods. You need to understand. But the question will not be asked here because 1 marks question will not be asked from topic statistics. I think so. That is the basis to make you understand why it is not asked here. So let's go to the next one. Number 3, third quartile or upper quartile Q3. Position of Q3 is equals to 3 times n/4. Okay, dividing the whole data in 4 parts and multiplying it by 3 for Q3. 3 times n/4. Simply you can write it as 3 n/4. Q1 1 times n/4. Q2 2 times n/4, that is n/2. Q3 3 times n/4 or 3 n/4. And the actual formula to calculate the value of Q3 is यसले चाहिँ पोजिसन मात्र दिन्छ Q3 कहाँ पर्छ भन्ने आइडिया दिन्छ के यसले ठीक छ अनि यसले के गर्छ भने चाहिँ एक्चुअल कति हो त Q3 को भ्यालु it will give that value, particular value. The formula is L plus 3 n/4 minus CF times I by F. Please copy this. L plus 3 n/4 minus CF times I by F. This is the formula for Q3. This is Q2 and this one is for Q3. Please copy it. L plus 3 n/4 minus CF times if. Okay, L plus 3 n/4 minus CF times if or I by F. You need to remember this formula. Okay, Q1, Q2 and Q3. This is very easy. You don't need to bother remembering this formula. Q1 is L plus n/4 minus CF times I by F. Q2 is L plus n/2 minus CF times I by F. Q3 is L plus 3 n/4 minus CF times I by F. Okay, please copy it first. Today I'll try to complete this quartile deviation, okay? And on the next class, I'll explain the things that could not be covered in this particular session. Okay, these are the formula to find Q1, Q2, and Q3. So we have not discussed till now quartile deviation. Okay, we have discussed Q1, Q2, and Q3. Have you read it in CMath or not? Have you read the topic quartiles in CMath? Quartiles of continuous data? Can anyone reply here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then that's okay. And then that's added advantage for you. Okay, so this one is Q1, this one is Q2, and this one is Q3. Just keep a bracket for that and remember it. Q1, Q2, and Q3. This is a very important formula you need to remember. Okay. So let's continue. Let me go to the next slide. Please let me know if you have not copied it. Okay, where L is equals to lower limit of the quartile class. Quartile class one ऐसे क्यों quartile class है ना? I'll explain it. I think you have read it in CMath also. You may have known it there. N is equals to total number of data or sum of frequency or simply sigma f. Sigma f लेख्यो भने पनि यसलाई n नै भनेर बुझ्ने है त. Don't get confused. It represents the total number of data in that class or any data. TF is equals to cumulative frequency of preceding class of quartile class. Quartile class भन्दा जस्ट माथिको, preceding भनेको अगाडि, त्यो भन्दा जस्ट अगाडि आउने है त. Succeeding भनेको त्यसको पछाडि आउने, preceding भनेको त्यो भन्दा अगाडि जुन छ त्यो क्लासको. Cumulative frequency of preceding class of the quartile class. I'll explain by solving a problem. I or H. Sometimes some book may have used the term H here. Yeah, H पनि लेख्छ कतै-कतै. Don't get confused that H is also the same thing. That is class size of the quartile class. Sometimes in some book it may have written class interval also. कतै-कतै class interval भनेर लेखेको हुन्छ. And the next thing F. L is the lower limit of the quartile class. जुन quartile class हो त्यसको lower limit. N is the sum of the frequency or the total number of data. CF is the cumulative frequency of the preceding class of the quartile class. I is the class size or the class width. Class width पनि भनेर लेखेको हुन्छ. And F is the frequency of the quartile class. Okay, F is the frequency of the quartile class. Please copy it. L equals to lower limit of quartile class. N equals to total number of data, sum of frequency or summation F. CF is equals to cumulative frequency of the preceding class of quartile class. Quartile class भने अब Q1 भने चाहिँ Q1 class को, Q2 भने Q2 class को. Okay, so it may vary. And I means class size of the quartile class, and F means the frequency of quartile class. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Let me continue. So let's find the first and the third quartile of the following data. Okay, given data. Okay, this is question number 1. This is, don't write the question number here. Actually, such questions will not be asked in OMaths. Okay, we will use this concept, that is to find first quartile and third quartile. We will use this concept to find the quartile deviation. We need these things. So I'm going to find the first quartile and the third quartile. First quartile. Calculate the first and third quartile of the following data. Calculate the first and third quartile of the following data. Copy it first. And the data is like this. Marks obtained, number of students 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 40, 40 50, 50 60, 60 70, 70 80, 80 90. And the number of students are 11, 18, 25, 28, 30, 33, 22, 15 and 22. This is the number of students or the frequency, and this is the marks obtained. Okay. So let's calculate. I think you can calculate since you have read already in CMaths. If you can solve it, then please do it yourself. Solution to calculate quartile deviation. I'm sorry, to calculate first quartile and third quartile. I have copied it from the slide of quartile deviation, so it has the same thing here. To calculate first quartile and third quartile. अर्को slide को मैले copy गरेको थिएँ, यो त्यही नै रहेछ है त. I'm sorry for that. I'll correct it later. So let's make a table. X, F, and CF. While calculating quartile, you need to make the table always in the same way. Okay, X, that is the class interval. F, that is the frequency, and CF, that is the cumulative frequency. Obviously, cumulative frequency. So the formula in that particular formula that represents a bit different. It represents cumulative frequency for all. So let's go on putting the values. Let me put the class interval at first. 0 to 10, 10, 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, 70, 80, 80, and 90. Please copy it fast. If you can solve it, then you can do it yourself also. Okay, I have corrected it. It's not displayed there. Okay, copy it fast, please. Class interval we have written here. Now we need to write the frequency of the respective class 11, 18, 25, 28, 30, 33, 22, 15, and 22. Okay, this is the frequency. Please let me know if you are facing any problem in writing these things. This frequency 11, 18, 25, 28, 30, 33, 22, 15, and 22. Okay, so let's try the CF. Okay, this is a bit tricky. I think most of you understand it, but if you have still the problem, please try to focus here. In the first cumulative frequency cell, we need to write the same frequency that is here. G frequency is the same frequency like so. And while writing the CF of the second class interval, we need to add this 11 and 18. Cumulative गर्ने के लागि जोड्दै जाने भने cumulate गर्दै जाने. Okay, 11 and 18, it will be equals to 29. So add this and it will be written here. Next, 29 and 54, 25, it will be 54. Okay, you go on continuing and it will be something like this. Please check it. Okay, I have checked it earlier. I may be wrong also. Please correct me if I am wrong here. So CF is 204 at last. So let's find the value of n, that is the sum of frequency. N is equals to 204. Make sure that the last value of CF and the value of n is same here. Okay, the CF is 204 here and the sum of frequency is also 204. That is the total number of data is 204. The last question 204 and you same hunai paryo. If it is not same, then that will be a mistake. So to find Q1, कुनै किताबमा यो position of Q1 भनेर लेखा हुन्छ, कतै के लेखा हुन्छ, but let's follow what it is written in government book. Government book जसरी लेखा त्यसरी लेखौं. To find Q1, पहिला के चाहिन्छ? As I told you earlier, we need to find n by 4. To find Q1, we need to find n by 4. So n by 4 is equals to 204 by 4. N by 4 is equals to 204 by 4. So I have got 204, n is equals to 204. And this is equals to 51. Okay. 204 by 4 is equals to 51. So up to finding the value of n by 4. Okay. We have two steps here. First step, we need to find the value of n by 4. Now it will help us to find the Q1 class. After finding this n by 4, it will help us to locate where the value of n by 4 will be. Okay, we need to see in the CF column. Yeah, herne. CF column ma herne. Okay. After finding n by 4, you need to find in the C in the CF column. यदि कुनै बेला यहाँ 51 नै एक्ज्याक्ट छ भने त्यसमा नै हेर्ने. But if there is no any data that is equals to 51, then you need to see the data that is greater than 51. 51 भन्दा ठुलो CF कुन छ यहाँ? 54. Okay. So the value or the class interval that corresponding to 54 is 20 to 30. यसलाई यसरी बक्स बनाएर राख्दा नि हुन्छ के आफै बुझ्नको लागि. This will be your quartile class. Q1 class. Your class interval छ नि, this class interval is called the Q1 class because the value of Q1 will be between 20 and 30. The last value after you calculate, it must be somewhere in between 20 and 30. यही बीचमा हुनुपर्छ यो. So let's go on calculating. CF just greater than 51 is 54. CF just greater than 51 is 54, which corresponding class is 20 to 30. The CF just greater than 51 or the greater than value of n by 4 is 20 to the class interval is 20 to 30. The CF was 54. Okay, so the corresponding class is 20 to 30. So we can write 20 to 30 is the first quartile class. In CMath, I think in 1 marks or 2 marks, such questions may be asked there. Find the quartile class. यति मात्र निकाला भनेर सोध्छ के कहिलेकाहीँ CMath मा. But in OMath, don't expect such questions. So 20 to 30 is the first quartile class. So as I told you earlier, this L is the lower limit. Let's find L. L is the lower limit. I think most of you know this thing. But if you have still the confusion, then please make clear from here. L is the lower limit of the quartile class, 20. CF is the cumulative frequency of the preceding class बनाएको थियो. यो जुन यो मैले बक्स बनाएको छु नि हेर्दा यसरी तिमीले यो टेबलमै यसरी पेन्सिलले यसो बक्स बनाइदियो के बुझ्न सजिलो हुन्छ नि त. It will be easier for you. So just CF is the CF of the preceding class. This CF is the CF of यो भन्दा माथिल्लो क्लासको 29. Frequency is 25. त्यसकै हेर्ने frequency CF मात्र माथिको हेर्ने है. Don't get confused. And I, that is the class interval, is 10. See the gap, the width between the lower limit and the upper limit, it is 10. Okay, can anyone tell me if n by 4 was 9, if the value of n by 4 was 9, what would have been the value of CF? What would be the value of CF? Can anyone tell me? If while calculating n by 4 it is 9, then what will be the value of CF? Can anyone reply here? So यहाँ नै आयो के. सबै यो क्लासमा चाहिँ फर्स्ट क्वार्टाइल पर्यो. In such case, what will be the CF? यो भन्दा माथि त छैन नि केही पनि. What will you put there?
I think 0.
Yeah, exactly. Gaurav, I think Gaurav responded. That's the correct answer. Because there is no CF in front of this. So you need to put 0, okay? यो भन्दा माथि त केही पनि छैन नि त. So in such case, you need to put 0. You may encounter such questions. Please don't get confused. Okay, both in CMath and OMath you may encounter such questions. So now let's calculate the Q1. अब यति L, CF, F र I निकालिसकेपछि तिमीले यसो गर्ने के. What you need to do is just write the formula in one side. Q1 is equals to L plus n by 4 minus CF times if भनेर formula side मा लेख. अनि यहाँ जे चाहिन्छ नि just copy here. L, CF. Okay, we have written it from here. And we know the value of n by 4 also. We have already calculated it, though we have already calculated it here. We may write it here also. N by 4 is equals to 51. We may write it here. And just write CF also, I and F. Your formula is okay? Okay, for this you need to remember the formula. If you have not remembered the formula, then it will be difficult for you. Okay, that's obvious. So let's replace the values. This is equals to 20 plus 51 minus 29 times 10 by 20. Further, it will be 20 plus 8.8. I think it is 8.8. Just simplify it. 51 minus 29 times 10 by 20. And it will be 28.8 marks. So here, yeah, marks भनेर दिएको छ भने यहाँ marks भनेर लेख्ने है. And if it is written as centimeter, height लेखेर यहाँ centimeter लेखेको छ भने यहाँ पनि centimeter लेख्नुपर्छ. And if any unit is not given, then you can leave as it is. Okay, if it is given in rupees, then you need to write here Q1 is equals to something rupees. You need to write the units, don't forget it. Okay, that may be a simple reason to cut your marks. So this is Q1. Now let's find Q2, Q3. The question has demanded to find the Q3 also.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, you quartile 1 को frequency 25 हुन्छ जस्तो लागेको थियो.
Frequency मैले कति राखेको छ त यहाँ? Oh, it's 25. Oh, I'm sorry. It is 25, eh? Have you simplified it further? Is it 8.8 or not? I have copied it from a textbook because I have
Yes, sir, it is 8.8.
It is 8.8. It's correct. I have copied it from a textbook. I think it is mistake there also. Okay, because it is easier for me to make slides from there. I have used that. Maybe that is a mistake there. That is a printing mistake. So it is 28.8 marks. This is Q1. So let's find Q3. To find Q3, what do you need to find at first? We need to find 3n by 4. 3 times n by 4, it is equals to 3 times 204 by 4. So it is equals to 153. As I told you earlier, see here, मैले अघि भनेको थिएँ नि तिमीलाई यो 28.8 छ नि हेर त यो भेल्यु त 20 र 30 को बीचमा आयो कि आएन ए बीचकै भेल्यु छ नि हैन सो इट मस्ट सेटिस्फाई दिस कन्डिसन है यो ख्याल गर्नु यो भन्दा बाहिरको आयो भने चाहिँ कतै रङ भयो कि भनेर ख्याल गर्नु है सो टु फाइन्ड Q3 we need to find 3n by 4 at first. Let's see in CF table after finding this 3n by 4. CF just greater than 153 is 167, whose corresponding class is 60 to 70. See here, यसलाई यस्तो बक्स बनाएर राख्छु ल मैले. You may draw this box with your pencil also in the table. Table में यस्तो पेन्सिलले बनाइदेऊ के. Confusion, you may not get confused. This is easier topic, one of the easiest topic of your course. So don't make mistakes. Okay. So CF just greater than 153 is 167, which corresponding class is 60 to 70. Okay. I'm going to class. So Q3 class is 60 to 70. So 60 to 70 is the third quartile class. Quartile पर्ने class बनाएंगे. Third quartile पर्ने class. This class interval. In this class interval, the value of Q3 will lie here. So as I told you earlier, just note the formula on one side of your copy. It is L plus 3n by 4 minus CF times I by F. So let's put all the values here. L is equals to 60. This is the lower limit of this third quartile class. CF is the value that is the CF that is just above this third quartile class, preceding class square 145. Frequency is 22. I is equals to 10. I is the size of the class or the width of the class. So it is 10. So now Q3 is equals to L plus 3n by 4 minus CF times I by F. Replace the values. Oh, I'm sorry. It is not simplified here. Please keep it in proper form. Okay. 153 minus 145. 153. This is 3n by 4. That is 153 minus CF is 145 times I by F. I is 10 by F is 22. Okay, 10 by 22. Further, it will be 60 plus 3.64. 60 plus 3.64, and this is equals to 63.64 marks. 63.64 marks. Don't forget to write the units at last. Okay, so this is all about Q1 and Q3. Now I'll head on to discuss quartile deviation. The main thing that we need to discuss here. I'm main कुरा अझै गएकै छैन है. Let me correct the slide. 153 minus 145 times 10 by 22. By 22, that's correct, and I need to correct the value here also. CF is 29. Okay, please let me know if you have not understood this particular topic here. Yeah, I think I have corrected it. Please copy it. To find Q3, 3n by 4, you need to find Q3n by 4. You need to do it in two steps. First step, you need to find the value of Q3, and find the quartile class. Your first step भयो. And second step, you need to use the formula to find the value of Q3. Okay, you need to do in 2 steps. So let's go to the next question or the next slide. Please write the note. Your note. I will extend this note later also. Okay, I think I'll complete it tomorrow. The value of data that is Yox must be arranged in ascending order while calculating the quartiles. Please note it. Write it in your copy. This is very important note. The value of data that is Yox. Sometimes the value of Yox may not be arranged in ascending order. करेको त्यो ascending order मा arrange गरिदिदैन हैन अब ascending order मा arrange नगरिकन तिमीले गर्यो भने that will be a mistake. Okay, sometimes the data may be given in this way. Yox of 20 to 30, 10 to 20, 0 to 10, so 30 to 40. It may be given in this order 2, 3, 4, 5. So what you need to do here is you need to arrange the data in ascending order while making the table. Table बनाउने बेलामा यसलाई के गर्ने यसलाई arrange गर्ने के. Please don't write this, okay? Just write this sentence only. So you need to arrange in the form of 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. You need to arrange in this form and write the corresponding frequency. The frequency of 0 to 10 is 4. Frequency of 10 to 20 is 3. 20 to 30 it is 2. And 30 to 40 it is 5. यसरी चाहिँ arrange गर्ने यसलाई. Don't get confused. Never ever make such mistake. Okay. So let's go to the next one. The data must be expressed in exclusive interval. I'll explain it further. The data must be, please copy it. मैले पछि explain गर्छु. The data must be expressed in exclusive interval. The data must be expressed in exclusive interval. Because our formula are designed in such a way. हाम्रो फर्मुलाहरु चाहिँ सबै exclusive data को लागि डिजाइन गरेको छ. हामी त अब inclusive data use गरेर त भएन. Okay. So the data must be expressed in exclusive interval. So अब exclusive interval त भन्यो. त्यसको लागि त बुझ्नु पर्यो inclusive interval अथवा inclusive data. What is inclusive data? In inclusive data, lower and upper limit are included. Lower and upper limit included. कस्तो भन्न खोजेको भने सपोज 10 to 20 भने हैन अर्कोमा 20 to 30 भन्यो अर्कोमा 30 to 40 भन्यो यसो रेगुलर छ नि हेर त यहाँको 20 यहाँ 20 छ यहाँको 30 यहाँको 30 छ. The upper limit of this class is the lower limit of the another class. Similarly, if it is 40 to 50, then the upper limit of this class is the lower limit of the another class. Okay, so this is called exclusive data. यसमा यो 20 चाहिँ पर्दैन upper limit पर्दैन lower limit चाहिँ पर्छ. 20 is included here. It is something like यो यस्तो हो के त 10 less or equals to x less than 20 भने आयो. Okay, and similarly don't write this thing है यो बुझ्नको लागि मात्र भने मैले. Similarly 20 to 30 means 20 less or equals to x less than 30. If it is given in this form, it is called exclusive interval अथवा exclusive data or exclusive interval in which the upper limit is not included. Exclude गरेछ के वर्ड बडी क्लियर छ नि हेर त. Upper limit is not included. The lower limit is included. Our formula are designed for this type of data. यदि inclusive data दिएको छ भने पनि inclusive भने कस्तो let me give you one example. 10 to 19 यो inclusive है. 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49. अब यसरी दियो के डेटा सपोज अब फ्रिक्वेन्सी के दिएला यहाँ यो के हो भने फर दिस 10 is lesser equals to x lesser equals to 19 पनि हो 10 पनि हो एउटा तर यहाँ बीचमा एउटा ग्याप छुट्यो नि त 19.5 19.99 for such data we cannot include here. So this data, this type of interval overlooks such values. It does not include such value. So this inclusive data must be converted to the exclusive data. यस्तो डेटा आयो भने चाहिँ हामीले यो फर्मेटमा लाने पहिला exclusive data मा लान्छौं and then we will solve the question. Okay, I'll explain later how to convert that exclusive data into inclusive data into exclusive data. So example inclusive data को एउटा example हेरौं. Make this table x र f लेखा frequency and x 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39. Some gap is here. Okay, some data are missing here. 9 र 10 को बीचमा भएको सबै डेटा मिसिङ भएन त. Okay, so 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39. Such types of data are called inclusive data. In such type of data, you need to be careful. You need to convert the data into exclusive data. Exclusive data means lower limit included but upper limit excluded. That is not included. Upper limit not included. If you are calculating, so let's be quicker. Let me give you one example. This is exclusive data, 0 to 10, or you can say exclusive class interval. Okay, exclusive data or exclusive class interval. This interval is called exclusive class interval. Class interval. In your book somewhere it may be written CI. That CI is class interval. Okay. Okay. I'll give you one practical example for this. अब तिम्रो ग्रेडिङ हुन्छ नि हैन, मार्क्सहरुलाई ग्रेडिङ गर्छ नि, कति देखि कति पर्सेन्ट ल्यायो भने चाहिँ कुन ग्रेड. You need to understand this. Suppose if you get the marks between 0 to 20, not including 20. Okay, 20 is not included here. If you get marks 0 to 20, so it is clearly see here, it is clearly written here below 20. Confusion हुन्छ नि त, तिमीले त पढेर बुझ्दा. 0 to 20 means 20 is not included here. So it has clearly mentioned that below 20, that will be E. That grade is E. 20 to below 30, that grade is D. 30 to below 40, that grade is D plus. 40 to 50, C. It means that if you score 50, that will be promoted as C plus. If you score 49.5, then that is C. 49.9, even if you score 49.9 also, that is C. Okay, 50 to 60, C plus. So if you score 90, then that is A plus. And if you score 89.9, then that is A. You need to understand it in that way. Okay, this is the perfect example of exclusive data. Okay, similarly it is in the case of GPA also. You don't need to draw this figure, just try to understand, make reference for from here to understand what exclusive data is. So if value of quartile lies on the first class, then CF should be taken as 0. Okay, if value of quartile lies on the first class, then CF should be taken as 0 while calculating quartile. Confused while calculating quartile. It is the same note as I discussed earlier. Gaurav has answered it earlier. If value of quartile, especially the first quartile lies in the, sometimes the first quartile may lie in the first interval. If the first quartile lie in the first interval, then at that time, while using the formula, you need to put the value of CF as 0. Okay, put the value of CF as 0 in such case. So let's continue. We have written that. Okay, write the formula now. Interquartile range. Interquartile range. Can anyone tell me what is the formula of range? The formula that you have read in class 9. Just tell me the formula of just range only. Can anyone tell me what is the formula of range? Yes, sir. I think you have read in class.
Highest minus smallest.
L minus S.
Yeah, exactly. L minus S. I think Aaron has answered it, and I forgot the name of the call. Okay. So largest minus smallest. L minus S. Simply, if you are talking about range, then that is largest minus smallest. And I said, बुझ्न अब कुनै एउटा कम्पनीमा there are different kind of employee, isn't it? अब कोही चाहिँ त्यहाँ अफिस सफा गर्ने होला हैन, कोही चाहिँ त्यहाँको म्यानेजर होला. अब उसको obviously त्यहाँको सफाई कर्मचारीको त अलिक स्यालेरी कम हुन्छ अनि म्यानेजरको अलिक धेरै होला हैन त रेन्ज कति भयो त व्हाट इज द डिफरेन्स बिट्विन द स्यालेरी अफ द म्यानेजर एन्ड द क्लिनर देयर तर रेन्ज हो के त्यो भने चाहिँ लार्जेस्ट माइनस स्मलेस्ट कति छ त त्यो ग्याप हैन दैट इज रेन्ज अब यो क्वार्टाइलको रेन्ज भने नि त वी हैव द लार्जेस्ट क्वार्टाइल इज Q3 एन्ड द स्मलेस्ट क्वार्टाइल इज Q1 सो इंटर क्वार्टाइलको बीचको रेन्ज मीन्स अब obviously you can say can anyone tell me can anyone guess it interquartile range the formula for interquartile range is guess it please
Q3 minus Q1.
exactly Q3 minus Q1 that is the difference between the third quartile and the first quartile is the interquartile range. Write the formula interquartile range is equals to Q3 minus Q1. Highest is Q3, lowest is Q1, and the difference between them is the interquartile range. Okay, so the formula for interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. Quartile ko range ke we have read the formula of range that is largest minus smallest. Interquartile haruko range means Q3 minus Q1 that is the difference of the largest quartile and the lowest quartile or the third quartile and first quartile. So Q3 minus Q1 is the formula. Let's go to the next one. Quartile deviation or semi-interquartile range. Semi mean half. Semicircle mean half circle. Okay. Semi-interquartile range. Interquartile range ko adha. It is also called quartile deviation. We have Q3 minus Q1. Its half is Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. Or you can simply say 1 by 2 Q3 minus Q1. Or you can write it in this form also Q3 minus Q1 by 2. So let me write it. Formally, quartile deviation is the half of interquartile range. Quartile deviation is the half of interquartile range. It is a measure of dispersion. As I told you earlier, central tendency or dispersion it is a measure of dispersion and it is defined as the half of interquartile range. Mathematically, it is half of interquartile range. I have given the mathematical definition only here. The mathematical definition logical interpretation keeping here. So quartile deviation is the half of interquartile range. So QD is equals to Q3 minus Q1 by 2. It is also called semi-interquartile range. Semi-final mean half final. Semicircle mean half circle. So semi-interquartile range means half of the interquartile range. That is Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. Write it. It is QD is equals to Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. The last one. Now, coefficient of QD. I'll explain it later why coefficient of QD is needed. Okay. Write the formula. It is Q3 minus Q1 by Q3 plus Q1. Just note the formula at first and keep it inside the bracket. It means that you need to remember this formula. Interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. Quartile deviation is Q3 minus Q1 by 2. Coefficient of QD is equals to Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. This is also called absolute measure. Absolute measure means also QD go. And it is also called relative measure. You don't need to note it. Just remember it. Relative measure absolute. Ke bhane yo हैन. Suppose if I am comparing the two same type of data. जस्तो मैले कुनै स्टुडेन्ट को एक्जाम को परफर्मेन्स कम्पेयर गरेको छु. Suppose I am comparing student named Ram and student named Shyam. If I am comparing their marks, म दुईटाको मार्क्स त कम्पेयर गरिरहेको छु भने दुईटैको मार्क्स चाहिँ कम्पेयर गरिरहेको छु भने त्यो भेरिएसन कस्तो छ भनेर हेर्नको लागि चाहिँ I can use quartile deviation. तर म एउटा स्टुडेन्टको चाहिँ मार्क्स अर्को स्टुडेन्टको चाहिँ उसको सपोज क्रिकेटको परफर्मेन्स हेरिरहेको छु दे आर डिफरेन्ट टाइप अफ डेटा. It doesn't make any sense. हैन अब उसको कन्सिस्टेन्सी कुनमा छ पढाइमा कन्सिस्टेन्सी छ कि सो क्रिकेटमा कन्सिस्टेन्सी छ भनेर हेर्नको त कम्पेयर त आई क्यान डु द कम्पेरिजन इजन्ट इट बट अब यो अब्सोल्युट मेजरबाट वी क्यानट कम्पेयर वी नीड टु द रिलेटिभ मेजर. अब यो कोएफिसिएन्ट त्यस्तो बेलामा चाहिँ इफ दे आर डिफरेन्ट टाइप्स अफ डेटा इफ द मेजर अफ डेटा इज डिफरेन्ट देन वी नीड टु युज द कोएफिसिएन्ट अफ क्युडी. त्यस्तो बेलामा चाहिँ कोएफिसिएन्ट अफ क्युडी युज गर्छौं. त्यो भेरिएसन त डिस्पर्सन कस्तो छ भनेर कम्पेयर गर्नु पर्यो. सपोज एउटा चाहिँ मार्क्सको र अर्को चाहिँ क्रिकेटको परफर्मेन्स भनेपछि फरक कुरा भयो नि त हैन. सो एट दैट टाइम to compare two data, we will use coefficient of QD. Don't worry, we will not do that interpretation. हामी यो लेभलमा हामी त्यो लेभलसम्म जाँदैन, हामी सिम्पल क्याल्कुलेसनमा मात्र फोकस्ड हुन्छौँ अहिले। म चाहिँ अलिकति यसको इन्टरप्रिटेसन पनि बुझाइदिरहेको थिएँ मलाई। Okay, we will simply use this formula to calculate QD and coefficient of QD. We will not go through what actually this QD is. Okay, we will not go through the interpretation of this. We will simply use the formula to calculate QD and coefficient of QD. So let's go to the next slide. I think you have copied it. So basically, these two important formula you need to remember, that is QD and coefficient of QD. Let's solve one problem. This short question. Let's copy this. The quartile deviation of a continuous data is 20. Copy it first. The quartile deviation of a continuous data is 20. If the first quartile is 45, find the third quartile. I have taken all the questions from your textbook. Okay, I think these are the questions from your example. So because it is easier for me to make the slides, I have taken all the questions from there. The quartile deviation of a continuous data is 20. If the first quartile is 45, find the third quartile. I think most of you can solve it. So let me display the solution. Find the third quartile. You need to find the third quartile. The quartile deviation of a continuous data is 20. If the first quartile is 45, find the third quartile. So let's solve it. Given, just write the solution at first. What is given here? Quartile deviation is given. QD is equals to 20. QD is equals to 20 is given here. Similarly, first quartile is given. First quartile Q1 is equals to 45. Please write it in suffix. Okay, suffix ma lekha la. Q1 is equals to 45. QD, we know the formula of QD. QD is equals to Q3 minus Q1. Please write it in suffix. Okay, the suffix ma lekha la, yo mathi bhayछ के. It's very difficult to type these things. Sometimes I have done my best to prepare the best slide here, but the problem has crept in. Just wait for me minutes, I'll correct that. Just for a few minutes, okay. If you can do it yourself, then try to do it. Just simply use a formula and you can get to the value. Okay, it is corrected now. Solution. Okay, so the Q3 is, and if I please simplify it, you'll get a value of Q3 there. Yeah, it's corrected now. So Q1 is equals to 45, Q3 minus Q1, Q3 minus 45, Q3 minus 45. Okay, if you have not understood, please let me know. It's not that difficult. You can easily understand this, but Q3 is equals to 85. Okay, quartile deviation QD is equals to 20. First quartile Q1 equals to 45. QD equals to Q3 minus Q1 by 2. 20 equals to Q3 minus 45 by 2. 2 times 20 is 40. This is equals to Q3 minus 45. So 40 equals to Q3 minus 45. 45 will be shifted this side, and after simplifying, it will be 85. Okay, I hope you have copied it. Let's go to the next question. Question number 2. Copy this question, please. The coefficient of quartile deviation of a group data. Group data means continuous data. Okay. As I told you earlier, individual and discrete data, they are called ungrouped data, and this continuous data is called group data. The coefficient of quartile deviation of group data is 0.25. If the upper quartile is 75, find the lower quartile. The coefficient of QD of group data is 0.25. If the upper quartile is if the upper quartile is 75, find the lower quartile. Let's solve it. Please try to do it on your own. If you are facing any problem, then you can see it in the slide. Solution. Coefficient of QD, this is given here. Just write given. Or you can simply write here. Coefficient of QD is equals to 0.25. Upper quartile Q3 is equals to 75. Upper quartile means Q3. Okay, don't get confused. Lower quartile is Q1. Upper quartile is Q3. Third quartile or upper quartile or simply Q3. It represents the same thing. Now coefficient of QD is equals to Q3 minus Q1 by Q3 plus Q1. Remember here, this is minus at first and plus later. Okay. Q3 minus Q1 by Q3 plus Q1. Q3 minus Q1 upon Q3 plus Q1. माथि एक्लै आएको छ तल दुईटा आएको छ त माथि एक्लै आएको छ यस्तो लाइन तल दुईटा आयो पहिला एक त्यसै दुई त्यसै सम्झ न you can remember it in any way but don't forget, don't remember it in wrong way. 0.25 equals to 75 minus Q1 by 75 plus Q1. The value of Q3 was 75. Value of Q1 we don't have, we need to find it. That is lower quartile we need to find. You can simply write lower quartile Q1 is equals to what earlier. यसरी लेख्दा नि हुन्छ नि हैन. Lower quartile Q1 is equals to what भनेर चाहिँ किताबमा चाहिँ यसरी लेखेर हुन्छ. I have copied it from there. I have just simply copied and pasted here. So lower quartile Q1 is equals to what? Now let's do the cross multiplication. I think the book has done it a bit in different way. Let me do it in normal way. 0.25 times 75 plus Q1. It is done in the cross multiplication. This is equals to 75 minus Q1 upon 75 plus Q1. So after doing the cross multiplication, it is 0.25 75 plus Q1. Okay, please copy it. I'm going to turn off my microphone for a minute. Please copy it fast. Okay. Okay, have you copied it? Have you solved it or not? Can anyone reply here? Please tell me. Have you copied it or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you have any confusion, yes. Okay, I think you have copied it. So this is the value of Q1. Okay, Q1 is equals to 45. So this is the basic question. This can be solved directly by using the formula. If you remember this formula, then it can be solved directly. So let's go to the long question. That is very important. You need to remember each step of that question. Okay. So let's go to question number 3. Oh. Just wait for a few minutes. Let me correct the slide here. Just a few minutes. Okay. I'm sorry for the interruption. Just a minute, please. Yeah, it's done. Okay, let me continue. the presentation there. Okay, write the question. Calculate the quartile deviation and its coefficient from the following data, and write this question. Copy this table also. Calculate the quartile deviation and its coefficient from the following data. The singular of data is datum. Okay, data भने चाहिँ यो plural हो. यसको singular चाहिँ datum. Datum भन्ने चाहिँ it's different. So calculate the quartile deviation and its coefficient from the following data. So to find the quartile deviation, just remember the formula. The formula is Q3 minus Q1 by 2. And the coefficient of QD is, its coefficient means coefficient of QD. Okay, so you need to find Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1. So to find this QD and coefficient of QD, what you need to do is you need to find Q3 and Q1. So let's find Q3 and Q1. Okay, so just remember the formula. It will guide you how to calculate quartile deviation. So to calculate quartile deviation and its coefficient, make this table. Okay, so list the value of Yox, Yof, and Cf in the table. Yox, Yof, and Cf. Please write along with me as I display it in the slide. Just copy at the same time so that it will be easier for you. Please don't miss any class, okay? Because every class are connected with each other. The concept that we read in one class, we supplement the concept in the other class. So you need to be present in every class. So Yox, F, and Cf. Put the values of Yox. Is this exclusive or inclusive? Can anyone tell me? Is this class interval exclusive or inclusive?
Exclusive.
Exclusive. Exclusive भनेको के exclude गर्ने हैन, include चाहिँ नगर्ने. It means lower limit will be included, but upper limit will not be included. Upper limit चाहिँ यसमा exclude हुन्छ है. So this okay for it is okay for us. We don't need to do any correction. Exclusive छ भने we don't need to do the correction. Inclusive छ भने we need to do the correction. Okay. And the frequency also 11, 18, 25, 28, 30, 33, 22, 15, and 22. Copy the frequency also. Okay, so you can find the CF also. The कति हुन्छ CF भन्दै छ है त फर्स्टमा. What will be the CF in the first column? In the first cell. Just tell me what will be the CF here. The one of the Q CF first, na?
11.
Exactly 11. And then you need to go on adding. Okay, 11 plus 18, it will be 29. Okay, I think we have calculated the Q1 earlier also. Any question ko hamle Q1 agi nikale haina. Need to explain it more here. So to find Q1 and by 4, let's just go through all the steps. Okay, ल ए स्टेपमा चाहिँ त अघि हामी गरिसकेका छौं त Q1 त. Please do it first. Just find Q1 and Q3. Okay. Just correct it. It is 29. Sorry, 25. And this one is 153 minus 145 times I by F is 10 by 22. Okay, these are the Q1 and Q3. It's not that difficult. If you remember the formula, it's not that difficult. You can simply solve all the questions. Please do fast. We'll complete quartile deviation today, and tomorrow I'll try to teach you mean deviation. That is also very easy. You just need to remember few formula and you can do it easily. Tomorrow we will use the formula of median also. That is Q2, okay? So let's find QD. Okay. QD is Q3 minus Q1 by 2. That is Q3 is 63.64 minus 28.8 upon 2 is 17.42. This is QD. Or semi-interquartile range. You may say it has semi-interquartile range also. Quartile deviation equals to 17.42 and coefficient of quartile deviation QD is equals to Q3 minus Q1 divided by Q3 plus Q1, and it is equals to 63.64 minus 28.8 upon 63.64 plus 28.8. This will be 34.84 upon 92.44, 0.38. You may write your max also. Okay, quartile deviation is the unit the काटेको छैन नि हैन कतिबाट Q3 यहाँ पनि max छ, so you may write a max also. त्यहाँ लेख्दा पनि हुन्छ पहिला. So this part is very important. Let's copy it. Quartile deviation equals to Q3 minus Q1 by Q2. Sorry, Q3 minus Q1 by 2. Copy it fast, please. As we have solved Q1 and Q3 earlier, I'm just displaying this part only. Okay, have you copied it? So interquartile range or the semi-interquartile range, that is QD, 17.42. The range भन्दा यो अलिकति बेटर भयो के. रेन्ज द एक्सट्रिम इनको कुरा गर्छ नि हैन, लार्जेस्ट र स्मलेस्ट को कुरा गर्छ. क्वार्टाइल डेभिएसनले अब केही बीचकोतिरको भ्यालुहरु लियो के. जस Q3 ले चाहिँ अपर 25% and Q1 lower 25%. The difference of that we have calculated. So it is a bit better measure than range. Though it's not totally demerit free. Demerit के पनि नभएको चाहिँ छैन यो यसमा. Demerit there, certain demerits here. So to avoid that demerit, we will read other measures of dispersion also. The better measure of comparing the data is quartile deviation than that of range. Range भन्दा अलिकति better भयो के यो. So this is quartile deviation. You can write here the unit, okay, because it has not cancelled. Write a max. As I told you earlier, quartile deviation चाहिँ एउटै युनिटको डेटाहरु कम्पेयर गर्नको लागि युज गर्ने हैन. दुईटा डेटालाई चाहिँ कम्पेयर गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ एउटै युनिट छ भने त्यसलाई कम्पेयर गर्दा quartile deviation युज गर्ने. If there are different data with different unit and you need to compare those data, then you have to use the coefficient of quartile deviation. So it is called relative measure and this is called absolute measure. Right, question number 4. Calculate the quartile deviation and its coefficient from the following data. Calculate the quartile deviation and its coefficient from the following data. Okay, it is written in this way: less than 10, 80 and above. Okay, कहिले यस्तो खालको डेटाहरु हुन सक्छ सो 10 भन्दा थोरै पनि हुन सक्छ हैन 10 भन्दा थोरै जति पनि हुन सक्छ के इन्फाइनाइट बट this such types of data and in the last interval also you are not sure about the highest interval highest limit चाहिँ कति हो भन्ने कुरामा फिक्स छैन तिमी so what you can do here is you can put the open end यसलाई यस्तो open end भन्छ है यहाँ लोअर साइडमा नि ओपन छ हैन अप्पर साइडमा नि ओपन छ नि त so these are called open end. In such case let's calculate solution. I have taken this question from a textbook again here. This one is also from a textbook. Okay, to calculate quartile deviation and its coefficient, please follow the same instruction. X, F and CF less than 10, more than 80. तर यदि एक्ज्याक्टली Q1 नै यसमा पर्यो भने चाहिँ अब प्रब्लम चाहिँ हुन सक्छ यस्तोमा यसको चाहिँ त्यो चाहिँ एउटा अलि विकनेस चाहिँ छ यस्तो खालको डेटामा. So the frequencies are less than 10 is 3, 4, 6, 8, 4, 7, 8, 3, 5. These are the frequency. Please copy it fast. These are the frequency of the given data. We need to write the CF 3, 7 कसैले यो CF कसरी लेख्या भने बुझेन भने please you can ask. Okay, I can explain it. The CF for the first class is 3. CF for the second class is 7. Next one it is 13 and then you can go on to find the CF of the other class also. And at last the CF must match with the last CF must match with the total number of the data. Here the n is the value of n is equals to 48 or the sum of the frequency is 48. Also the last value of CF is also 48. Okay, so it's correct. You don't need to bother about the correctness of that data. It fast. Let me know if I am a bit faster than you expect. To find Q1, what we need to do? We need to find the value of n by 4 at first. Okay, to find the value of Q1, we need to find n by 4 at first. So it will be n by 4 equals to 48 by 4. Further, it will be equals to 12. Okay, now what you need to do is you need to go through the CF table. The last column is last column. Okay, so the value of CF just greater than 12 is CF just greater than 12 is 13 here. If it was exactly 12, then you need to see the same class interval. Okay, if it is not 12 exact 12, then you have to see the value that is greater than 13, greater than 12. That is, in this case, it is 13 here. So box now write the formula in one side of your copy. Q1 is equals to L plus n by 4 minus CF times if. CF times if. So Q1 lies in the class 20 to 30. Or 30 corresponding class 20 to 30. So Q1 lies in the class 20 to 30. It means your value of Q1 will be between 20 and 30. 20 to 30 ko beech ma huncha ke Q1 ko value chahi. Q1 ko value 24 huncha ke 25, it may be 25, 25.5, but it cannot be 35, 36, 40 testo chai value hundaina ke. It cannot be greater than this class interval. Yahi bhitra आउनु पर्यो भने अब Q1 lies in the class 20 to 30. That is 20 to 30 is the first quartile class. 20 to 30 is the first quartile class. So let's see from the formula. L is equals to 20. L is the lower limit of the class interval. CF is the CF just above this class, just preceding of this class. Okay, preceding class interval as the CF 7, so it is 7 here. F is equals to 6. I is equals to 10. I is the class interval or the class size or class width. You can say anything. I is equals to 10. So Q1 is equals to L plus N by 4 minus CF times I by F. Replace the values, it will be 20 plus 12 minus 7, CF is 7 here, 10 by 6. Further simplify, it is 20 plus 8.33. Please correct me if I am wrong. This is equals to 28.33. I think it is not marks here. 28.33. Let me check it. I think the calculation is mistake. Let me check it, okay? Because I have prepared the slide by copying each other and making some changes there. I don't know the changes was done here. Change was done here or not. Let me check it. 12 minus 7 times 10 by 6. Yeah, it's correct. 8.33. It's correct here. Okay, you can directly use a calculator to calculate this, but don't forget to put the bracket. So now let's find Q3. To find Q3, we need to find it first 3n by 4. 3 times 48 by 8. This is equals to 4 12 12 3 36. So 36. So we need to see through the CF table again. The value that is greater than 36 is 40. The CF that is greater than 36 is 40. EF just greater than 36 is 40. Q3 lies in the class 60 to 70. Okay. CF just greater than 36 is 40. So Q3 lies in the class 60 to 70. That is 60 to 70 is the third quartile class. Third quartile class IO. Now let's write the formula. Q3 is equals to L plus 3n by 4 minus CF times if. Okay. So we have got all the values here. L is 60. CF is the CF that is just before this data 32. F is equals to 8. I is equals to 10. Class interval. So Q3 is equals to L plus 3n by 4 minus CF times if. Further, it will be 60 plus 36 minus 32. 36 is 3n by 4. It is here. You can see it from here. 36 minus CF is 32 times I is 10 and EF is 8. So 36 minus 32 times 10 by 8. Further, it will be 60 plus 5, I think, because it is 4 times 10 by 8. 4 2s are 8, 2 5s are 10. Plus 5 is 65. QD, Q1 and Q3. So quartile deviation QD is equals to Q3 minus Q1 by 2. Further, it will be 65 minus 28.33. It is equals to 18.34. And coefficient of QD, Q3 minus Q1 by Q3 plus Q1. Okay, just calculate it and it is equals to 0.3929. This is the important part you need to understand. 0.3929. Okay, I'll do one more question and I'll end this lecture for today. And I request you to solve all the questions from your textbook. Okay, you can solve all the questions from your exercise book. If you have any problem, then we can discuss later in other class also. Okay, please go through all the questions from your textbook. Please solve it. And you need to, I think you are notified also. You have to submit your copy on Wednesday on school, and I will check it. And in your second terminal examination, your neatness of your copy and the proper note making will be evaluated. Okay, just a random बनाएको छ जे पाइदै बनाएको छ भने मार्क्स कम पाउँछ त्यसमा कपीमा. Okay, I think notice is published already. And those who have completed the assignment, you will be evaluated on the basis of your assignment also. If you have completed your assignment, every assignment, then you will get the full marks. Otherwise, some marks may be deducted. Okay, so complete all the assignment also.
Sir, अर्को Wednesday आउँदा हुन्छ?
अर्को Wednesday, I think. Next week.
Sir, यो पालि त थाहा नै भएन. यो पालि त थाहा नै भएन.
Yeah, next week. Those who are out of valley, they may submit later. Okay, those who are inside the valley, they must compulsorily submit it in school. So let's go to the next topic. Let's go to the next question. I think you have understood this question. If you have not understood, please let me know so that I can explain it later. Let's do one more question and we will end this class. Calculate the quartile deviation and its coefficient from the following data. Calculate the quartile deviation and its coefficient from the following data. This is the data. I don't think it is visible in your device. Let me zoom it. So 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, 80 to 89. 4, 6, 8, 12, 7, 6, 5. This particular data is of which type? Inclusive or exclusive? Which type of data is this? Is this exclusive data or inclusive data?
Inclusive.
Yeah, exactly. Inclusive data. Okay. Inclusive data में के गर्ने? At first, you need to convert this data in exclusive data. Exclusive class interval चेन्ज गर्नुपर्छ किनभने हाम्रो फर्मुला नै exclusive data को लागि डिभाइस गराएको छ के. We have not discussed the derivation of this formula. You don't need to discuss the y part of the formula. We will just use the formula. As it is derived for the exclusive data, we will be using, we will convert this data in exclusive data. यसलाई पहिला exclusive मा चेन्ज गर्छौं अनि बल्ल फर्मुला युज गर्ने. Solution. So this thing, to calculate quartile deviation and its coefficient, the given inclusive data is changed into exclusive. This must be changed into exclusive because this is inclusive data. The lower limit is also included, upper limit is also included, and some data is missing there in between 20, 29 and 30. Okay, some data are missing there, so you need to correct it. To change the data into exclusive data, correction factor is given by the formula. To change the data into exclusive data, correction factor is given by the formula. This is the formula, please note it. Correction factor equals to lower limit of second class minus upper limit of first class divided by 2. Okay. जुनसुकै क्लासको जुन टेक एनी कन्जिक्युटिभ क्लास इन्टरभल दुईटा कुनै पनि एउटा कन्जिक्युटिभ नेबरिङ क्लास इन्टरभलहरु ल्याऊ. You can take any one. Let me take it from first, है त. यो फर्स्टबाट ल्याउन किन अत्तर गर्नु. So lower limit of first class, lower limit of second class minus upper limit of first class. यो बाट यो घटाउने के. Lower limit of second class minus upper limit of first class divided by 2. You need to find the correction factor at first. This is equals to 30 minus 29 divided by 2. And this is equals to 0.5. In every inclusive data, you need to find the correction factor to change the data into exclusive form. Okay, so correction factor equals to 0.5. We got it. So we got the correction factor. How to correct it? Let me show you. Just copy up to here first. Don't worry, I'll leave after this. I think you are tired also. So right up to here. Correction factor equals to 0.5. So the exclusive class of the above data are given as, I'll write it in the full table. I think this is displayed in your device also. Please let me know if it is not displayed fully. So write it X, F and CF. Yeah, hey, how to write it? Please be careful. Do any one of you know how to write? Okay, I think you have not discussed this question. So see here, you have to subtract the correction factor in the lower limit, right? Lower limit मा चाहिँ यसलाई घटाइदिने, upper limit मा चाहिँ जोड्ने के, सानोलाई झन् सानो बनाइदिने, ठुलोलाई झन् ठुलो बनाइदिने, बुझ्यो? Lower limit, the value, the correction factor must be subtracted in the lower limit and added in the upper limit. The exclusive form मा लैजाने way हो है यो चाहिँ. See here, it was 20. So lower limit मा त घटाउनु पर्यो. 20 minus 0.5 is 19.5. And in upper limit you need to add. So 29 plus 0.5 is 29.5. Similarly in the other form, in the other class interval also. 30 minus 0.5, 29.5. 39 plus 0.5, 39.5. 40 minus 0.5, 39.5. 49 plus 0.5, 49.5. So similarly you can continue. Okay, and there is no any changes in the frequency. Are you willing to ask any question? Okay, copy it fast. This is Yox. Now see, it has been so smooth. See, it has included all the data. It has been continuous now. 29.5, 29.5, 39.5, 39.5, 49.5, 49.5. So everything is included here. Okay. So let's continue. No change in the frequency. So write it. 4, 6, 8, 12, 7, 6, 5. Write CF also. 4, 10, 18. I hope you understand this because we have discussed earlier also about CF. 30, 37, 43, 48, and then n equals to 48. Find Q1. And by 4 equals, let me display all the things. You can copy it. Now everything is same, okay? Sabbai kura same nahi ho aba. The only difference is you need to change this the class interval into exclusive class. Just wait for a few minutes. Okay. Just copy it. Everything is same. Only the difference is you need to convert the inclusive data into exclusive form. Okay. After copying, you can leave the class. Copy it fast, and I request you to solve the question from your textbook. I will discuss some difficult questions also later. After completing this topic statistics, only garo question the lower limit some questions are there. We'll discuss later. Okay, I have taken reference from your textbook for this question. So let's discuss some basic questions at first. After you excel such basic concept, we can go to this. We can easily solve the difficult questions also. Okay, where you need to arrange the data at first before solving the questions. Please let me know if it is not displayed in your device, not easily displayed. Do you have next class after this period? Do you have class after this? Do you have class after this or not? Please tell me. I am unable to listen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just screenshot it and you can go to the other class. Just take a screenshot, and otherwise I'll post it in your Teams file also. Okay, I'll just screenshot it and post it in the Teams chat box also. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for your patience. We have discussed for 2 hours with this topic. So thank you. Please go through all the topic. Go through the quartile deviation. Revise it also. Thank you for your participation. Take care. Bye bye. Okay, bye bye. Take care. Have a great day.
Bye, sir.